Hi, and welcome to the Slip Slip Sis YouTube channel. My name is Che, and I am one of your Slip Slip sisters. And get excited for another travel challenge vlog that I have for you here. So we being the whole squad, so myself, our parents, Gabs, and her whole family, we are heading out on family vacation this evening. So I flew up to the Bay Area to fly out with my family. We are heading to Hilton Head Island in South Carolina for the big family vacay this year. So, of course, it wouldn't be a Slip Slip Sis vacation without some kind of knitting craft challenge or activity going on. So I have taken on the challenge because I have been kind of a knitting slacker over the past couple of months, just busy stuff with life, getting sick, other things going on. So I am trying to up my game for our vacation. So if you followed along on our Palm Desert vlog, which was our stash busting sister soiree, I think Gabs probably did better than me, but I feel like it was kind of mid for me. But check that one out if you haven't watched it yet. But what happened during that was Gabrielle and I get the Southern Skeins monthly subscription box where we get a sock set and then we split it, and it comes with 2 minis, so then we each get a mini. So had been falling behind on that. I believe Gabs is all caught up now. I am still the slacker amongst us. And so Gabrielle used her Geraldine, her sock knitting machine, to create tubes for us. And so she tubed all those up. We each at least got one pair. Like, we cut off what we needed for one pair, but there was extra. And Gabs very kindly let me have the extras because her big goal for the year, I think, is like stash busting down the yarn. And so she had already stash busted, sorry, there's a spider on my iPad. She had already stashed down the yarn, so like making the extra socks wouldn't have necessarily counted for anything for her. But if you recall, now we're going way back seas, our goal setting video for 2025, I had wanted to do my century, which was 100 skeins out and 100 projects. It's looking like neither of those are going to happen, but we're still going to give it the good old college try. And so Gab said I could have the tubes so that I could just keep making all these different socks, so that those would all count as FOs for me to at least get to maybe half of my century, but we'll see. But I digress. So the goal is to get through all the socks that I didn't finish while we were together in Palm Desert. So I have, I think I finished one pair. Yeah, I think I did one complete pair while we were in Palm Desert, and I have 2 started. So I have that are in good shape. So this is pair, I don't even know, pair number 2, whatever. I have no good way of tracking this, but this is one completed sock that goes with this buddy. And so this, I'm on the heel, I'm feeling good about it. And then this whole bag is all the little kits I made for myself. So wait, okay, so this one is in a good spot too, because I've done the cuff and the toes of these socks. This one only needs the heels. And then I have all the extras. So we had 3 colorways, I guess, that we needed to get through. And these are the 3, and these are the extras from them that should be enough to make another pair of shorty socks, of each color. And so here's one of them. I've forgotten the names. I'm gonna be so real. I got nothing for you on them. And then I used what leftovers from when I used to get my Row 1 subscription to kind of use these little guys up for that. I'm also simultaneously hoping to have as many small amounts of scraps as possible so I can add all of that to Gabs' Magic Knot Ball for this winter. And I've got this next color one. Sorry, they're in the Ziplocs because it was like, I could have brought project bags for each of them, but we're also like minimal space. So it's a nice Ziploc sandwich baggie that I'm working with right now. And then this is the colorway that I'm working on, and I paired it with these 2 other colors. I did also not do the January color from this year. So Gabs very kindly created for me the longest sock tube in the world. So this is a full 100-gram skein that she created into a tube. And we are estimating that I can get 4 pairs of socks out of the tube. So I brought 4 different minis to work with. So there's a lot of sews in this video thus far, and we are only like 5 minutes in. These are all the projects I have for essentially what is a week-long trip in Hilton Head. We fly out tonight and then we will fly back on July 4th. I will be with my family for 1 more day, so on the 5th, and then I fly back to LA on the 6th. And I'm considering the 5th is the last day of vacation because when I fly back on the 6th, it's early in the morning and I actually have to work that Sunday. So the 5th is the cutoff for what can be done. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 socks that I have that I could get through. And so the goal of this is to see how many socks can Shaylee get through. Keep in mind, this one's almost done. It is 10:45 right now, and our flight is a red eye. We leave at 8:55. So this is day 1, starting now. How many socks of the 8 that I've prepared do you think I can get done? Am I gonna be a big baller and get them all done? Or are you thinking like a comfortable 50%? Honestly, I have little faith in myself, so I will not be offended if you're like, you're probably gonna finish this 1 pair and that's it. Girl, I get it. So put your guesses down below on what you think, and I will take you along on this journey with you, but I better stop yapping and at least get this 1 pair done, or else that would be real embarrassing. So I'll check in with you later. Hello and welcome back to the video where I have failed to do any videos except for the intro one. It is now day like 3 or 4 of our vacation, and we have just been super busy. First, traveling here was kind of bananas. It was like 28 hours of travel for me, so it was a little bit banana pants. And then we've just been busy, and I've just been too tired at night to film any updates, but I do have some finished socks, one that is fresh off the needle. So I did finish this pair, which was pretty far along. They only needed the heels. I finished this pretty quickly. I actually think I finished these before we left San Jose. And then my next pair, this was the first one where I had like nothing started on them, is I finished these, and these are kind of like twins, if you will, not quite identical, but fraternal. And so I used part of my row 1s to do the contrast for them. And the colors are, okay, so this color is Teal Spin, which is Lane and Lotus Fiber Company. And then this kind of, it's not showing up really well, but it's actually more of a dark blue than a black. It's called Night by Birch Dye Works. So another pair done. Turns out they're not shorties, they're actually longies. So I have plenty of this to make a substantial pair of socks. So I have a little time. We have a little bit more of a chill afternoon or evening, because it's about 2:30 right now, and we're just kind of doing a quiet time, if you will. So I'll start another pair and cut into those. So 3 out of the 8 that I have prepped, and we're probably about halfway or so through the trip, so not too bad. I'm gonna take it as a win, because I thought I was gonna have like 1. But I will try and do better on my updates, but who knows what could happen. Hello, so we are back from the trip. It is now Saturday, July 5th, and I was a terrible vlogger during this trip, but I guess that's the mark of a good trip, right? Sorry, I'm making my quesadilla for breakfast. That we were just having too much fun, that I didn't have as much time to vlog, but don't worry. If you want to see at least a couple of days of the trip, sorry, this is a horrible angle. Check out Vlogmas that Gabs is working on right now. But today is what I am considering my last day of knitting time on the, we're about to lose the phone. My bad. Of the trip, but I have lots of things to do. I have a nail appointment in about 25 minutes, so I better get moving on said quesadilla. And then we have lunch. So my parents and I are having lunch with my grandma and my uncle. It was his birthday while we were on our trip, so that will be super fun to see them. And then Dad and I are going to see Jurassic World Rebirth. And in my mind, that is ample knitting time. However, like the tube knitting is not particularly easy, right, to bring to the theater because it's not simply mindless. Because I have to like cut in and do all those things. So I'm considering borrowing maybe some yarn from Dad, starting something else instead of doing the tube knitting, because I just don't think it's gonna like, I might be able to finish some cuffs, but then like trying to cast off in the theater is going to be hard, and it is a long movie, so I feel like maybe just start something else. But I have now gotten through, I think, 4 pairs of socks. We'll have to do a recount at the end of the day, but I should be able, I think, to at least finish one more today, so that would be 5. Before I head out tomorrow, and today is my cutoff for finishing my project, so we will see how that goes. But I am going to demolish this quesadilla and go get my nails done, and then we'll get cracking on the knitting. All right, so it is 7 p.m. and I'm very tired because I think I am still a little bit on Eastern time. So I am calling it on my sock challenge that I had, but I want to show you a little progress. So I did cut into the socks for today. So this is my last pair of like the extras. So I did add in both the cuffs today. So these just need the toes and heels. So these should theoretically move along pretty quickly, but you know how Chaley's been kind of a knitting slacker over these past few months, not even just weeks or days. So we'll see. I'm sure it will get done, but those I did not finish today. I thought I would, didn't have it. That's okay. But I did go to the movies with my dad, and just he had some yarn I was able to use to get a sock going, so I have some progress on that. So I didn't do nothing, which is very promising, but it's this super fun green sock. We went to see, again, Jurassic World Rebirth, which I felt like this was very on brand for Jurassic World. He had no label on it, so I do not know what it's from. Maybe Gabs knows. But I do have it in one of my new cozies that they made for me. This is one of our newer fabrics to the shop. So I do have my, I want to say order, but I didn't really order it. I guess it's like when we went shopping fabric, my requests of the new fabric. So this is one of them. This is what I call like the fresh choice vegetables. So I have my new Jurassic World Rebirth sock in that. So I'll work on that. Eventually that will get done. We'll see when that happens, but I'm gonna just put all this in here. But I do want to count through because I feel like I kind of miscounted at the beginning of this video, like how many socks I have, slash I thought I could get done. So these are so far all the extras I have from the minis for the contrast. And let's go through the socks. Oh, I did get some yarn while we were traveling. This is from Low Country Shrimp and Knits. And the yarn company is Spun Right Round. They're out of Rochester, New York, and the color is Double Trouble. I got it in DK. You might see that again if we I do like a little podcast jump in about it. But okay, so sorry, I'm all over the place. This is the last of the individual ones, and then I still have Big Mama, which is a gigantic tube to cut into. I think at the beginning of the video, I said I had 8 socks that I thought I could make. I actually think it's 9. So sorry if you guessed 8 and it actually turned out to be 9. In any sense, none of us were correct because I did not complete all of them. Sorry, I'm trying to organize myself and all these. This is why I don't magic loop, because it's all messy and all over the place here. So these are the ones, the last of that I had as an individual set, and I still have this gigantic tube left over that we think will make at least 4 socks. It could be more. Okay, I feel like I've got this somewhat contained now. Not really. Okay, I'll put that away in here, probably. So I did finish quite a few though. So I actually finished 4 socks, which is pretty exciting, I will say, because that puts me in a good spot, I would say, for finishing some things. I feel like I'm getting maybe some of my like knitting juice back. So this was the first pair I finished. I think y'all already saw these. It matches the pair that I have going right now. So that's kind of nice and full circle. I think you all saw these ones already. These are fun. They give kind of like a fire and ice feel. And then I've got these ones and I've got these ones. So 4 completed pairs in total, not too shabby. And we're gonna call it a win. But that is what I've got for our vlog so far. I'm gonna pack this all up so that I can head out to LA tomorrow. And thank you for watching. Check out Christmas in July Vlogmas with my sister, and we'll see you soon.